Good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Yay.
Hope everybody's having a good evening. Thank you very much for the lovely wine and snacks.
Thank you.
Feeling decidedly underdressed this evening for the occasion, but Candy wasn't ready. So it's really my pleasure to welcome to the stage Will Fisher and the wonderful act that he has this evening, which really speaks to a passion of mine and his, the art of drag. So welcome, Will Fisher.
Thank you all so much for coming this evening. This is a solo show. It's a labor of love. Been working on it for a while now, and this is the second time I'm workshopping it, so I really appreciate you all being here. I'm going to do it in New York City in May, so I want to get it under my belt. Going to give a few shout-outs. I want to thank my director, David Schechter, who I met at the Journey to Elderhood retreat, and started working with him on this every time I went to New York City. I also want to thank Freddie Freeman, who did the music composition for the piece, and Sine for being my stage manager. And again, thank you all for coming. Without further ado, I present to you Off and On Again, a drag journey across the gender highway. Hello there. I wasn't expecting company, but you are most welcome. Each and every one of you, especially you. I'm Sylvia London, and since you're all here, I'm going to tell you a story as soon as I'm done with my bath. You see, I'm going to tell you a story about love and loss and wise queer elders and sex and booze and radical fairies and drag queens and a magical book and a long-ass road trip. You'll hear it all just as soon as I'm done with my bath. You see, on nights that I do a drag gig, I always like to start my process with a long, luxurious bubble bath. It's become a ritual. I sit in the bubbles drinking something bubbly and let the troubles of this man-eat-man world wash away. Effortlessly, my skin becomes smoother, softer, sweeter, my mind more at ease, my body more relaxed and present to the sensual, sacred, feminine energy coursing through it. Oh. Sorry, sometimes I get a little carried away, but I do love a bubble bath. It's a wonderful place to think. How can we push back against the cisgendered, able-bodied, femme-phobic, sexist, misogynist, capitalist, white supremacist, heteropatriarchal hegemony? Perhaps I should have gone with the Rouge Noir instead of the Bruised Plum lipstick shade today. Think. What is it really that makes a man and a woman a woman? Is it the clothes he wears, the hair she combs, the shoes that fit their feet? Is it the way he sits, the way she stands, or what other people think? When in my process do I switch from Will to Sylvia, from he to she? To me. You know, sometimes I have to skip the bubble bath ritual. It's when I get a last-minute drag gig and I have to get ready in the bathroom of the club I'm working at. I know, real glamorous, the bathroom of the club. It's usually before they open, so except for an occasional bartender or cocktail waitress, it's pretty private, but I still like to be considerate. So I usually start the process in the men's room. Applying the foundation, doing all the eye details, blushing out the cheeks. Oh, hey there, dude. I then take my drag bag and I sneak into the women's room. I slip into that handicap stall. It's always roomier in there. And then I slip on my dress, my heels, and of course, my hair. I then put on my lipstick, take one final look, and something within me shifts. I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore, and I know too much to go back and pretend, 'cause I've heard it all before, and I've been down there on the floor, and no one's ever gonna keep me down again. Oh yes, I'm wise, but it's wisdom born of pain. Yes, I paid the price, but look how much I gained. If I have to, I can do anything. I am strong, strong. I am invincible, invincible. I am woman. Thank you so much. I do love that song, but I have to admit I haven't always been the strong, confident drag queen you see before you tonight. You see, my drag journey has been a long one. It all started with a broken heart. It's the year 2000, the dawn of a new millennium, and yours truly, Sylvia Ludden, is but a glimmer in the eye of a young Will Fisher, fresh out of college and ready to move to NYC. I am so fucking excited. I'm about to take a road trip where I'll be driving from sunny San Diego all the way to the Big Bad Apple. I cannot wait to move to the best city in the world with the best boyfriend in the world, my love, Elon. He's the rabbi's son, and he's dreamy. We fell in love in the springtime, and get this, he's never had a boyfriend before, so he likes to tell me how all the love songs on the radio suddenly make sense. And we like to stay up late, drinking cheap red wine, and listening to Nina Simone, and Billie Holiday, and Ella Fitzgerald. He has a thing for black female vocalists, and I love him. I remember the first time I told him, it was at his parents' house in Waterford, Connecticut. It was on Passover dinner. And after this long, ceremonious meal with lots of l'chaims, we're finally in bed together, a childhood bed, a single bed, so our faces are pressed up against each other, sharing Manischewitz breath. And then he says it, I love you. And I say it back, I love you too. And then we kept saying it, I love you, and kissing, I love you, over and over, I love you again. After graduating from college, we ran off to Europe together, and we hopped from one magical city to the next. And then I came back here to San Diego to my parents' house, and he went to Waterford so we could both save some money before moving to New York together. All these months waiting has just been so rough, but the longing is finally coming to an end. My things are just about packed, and I'm so ready to just get in the car. Yep, guess who? Hey, honey. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm just about packed, and I cannot wait to see you and to kiss you. What's up? Yeah, sure. What's up? Something wrong? I'm here. I'm here. I'm hearing you. No. I'm fine. I'm just fine. Fuck. Elon dumped me. Just like that. It's over. Fuck. I don't know what to do with myself. So I go shopping. It seems like the logical thing to do, like what Carrie Bradshaw and her Sex and the City gal pals would do after a breakup. If you're going to be a New Yorker, you might as well start acting like one, right? So I go to the mall and I buy these sexy jeans that make my ass look like I have an ass. I buy these fancy dress shoes and some home accessories. There's nothing quite like retail therapy. I even buy some drag. You see, I tried drag once or twice, and I thought I would try it again in New York City. I bought this white vinyl top with hot pink feathers at the end, and this matching white vinyl miniskirt with the same hot pink feathers. So good. The final stop was this old bookstore on a side street near the mall. Entering the store, I suddenly feel this strange sense of wonder come over me. I've never been here before, but it feels so familiar, like maybe from a dream. I nod at the old man behind the counter who silently nods back. He doesn't say a word, but his eyes behind his gold-rimmed glasses seem to point me to the aisle on the far right side of the store. As I walk, something pulls me to the back corner, where a ray of late afternoon sunlight shines through the window and lights up a book on the bottom shelf. I read, Gay Soul, Finding the Heart of Gay Spirit and Nature with 16 writers, healers, teachers, and visionaries. I didn't know it yet, but this was what I was shopping for all day. Well, this and a white vinyl two-piece. I'm leaving for my road trip tomorrow, and I think I'm finally ready. But the next day, Elon is the first thing I think of. And this empty feeling in my heart mixed with the anxiety of the move is sickening. But fuck it. I'm moving to NYC with or without him. I've packed all my things in the hand-me-down Oldsmobile that my parents have agreed to let me take to New York. And let's just say there's an emphasis on the old in this Oldsmobile. It's sort of a faded bronze color on the outside with a tan crushed velvet interior inside. It was maybe luxurious in its day, but now it's just kind of sad. I've crammed it so full of all my things that it nearly scrapes the pavement as I pull out of my parents' driveway. My parents stand on the front lawn to see me off, Dad waving a goofy dad smile, Mom holding tightly onto the dog's leashes and tightly onto her tears so they don't spill out. As I pull out of San Diego, I catch a glimpse of the Pacific Ocean in the rearview mirror, and my tears start to spill out. It's about then I realize that I'll be doing nothing but this for the next 41 hours over 5 straight days. Nothing but this. Now, what I've come to realize since that breakup is that when you're dealing with a heartbreak, it's best to keep kind of busy so you don't have a lot of free time, because you might start obsessing. With that in mind, an activity I would not recommend after a heartbreak is to drive across the fucking country. I try to distract myself with some music. Oh. Turn it off. Suddenly all the heartbreak songs on the radio make sense. I can't stop thinking about him and feeling sorry for myself. And I just keep crying. Sometimes I cry so hard that I have to pull off to the side of the road because I can't see through my tears. Like when you're driving through a rainstorm and it's pouring so hard that the windshield wipers just can't keep up. So after driving and sobbing for nearly 12 hours, I finally stopped in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and I check in at a Motel 8. As I'm unpacking, I noticed that white vinyl two-piece with the hot pink feathers. And I think about that scene from Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, where one of the queens gets all done up in some Hicksville town in drag and tries to meet the local trade. She nearly gets herself killed. I don't want to risk my life in New Mexico, so instead I pull out a new book. It's a series of interviews by Mark Thompson with leaders of the gay spirituality movement. Never even heard of that concept before, gay spirituality. Each interview offers wisdom through the words of these visionaries who talk about what's special about being gay in the world today. I sit on the stiff double bed in the generically decorated motel room, and to open it up, I'm quickly transported, swimming through a sea of sparkly queer wisdom. I read the words of Andrew Harvey. Hearts were made to break. By accepting heartbreak and allowing the heart to break again and again without fear of consolation, a space is open in the heart in which the whole universe can be placed. Such vulnerability is sacred, I believe, and the source of the highest and most luminous forms of strength. I read, chaos can either destroy us or provide the pain and energy for our transformation and press us to define ourselves more clearly and fiercely. In a bad time, let obstacles become the spurs to enlightenment. We have to learn how to become phoenixes and rise again and again out of the ashes of humiliation, desolation, and grief. These words felt so powerful and true, like they were speaking directly to my wounded heart. But they were also hard to take in, like I understood the concepts in my head, but I couldn't feel them yet. I still felt like shit. I pass out with the book still open, hoping some of the wisdom might seep in while I sleep. But the next day, Milan is the first thing I think of, and that same empty feeling in my heart is there. But I have to drive on. Back to this. Today I'm not quite as weepy, but now I'm obsessing over why he did it. I keep beating myself up for not just asking in the moment. I'd been so stunned that I couldn't muster anything but silence, and now it's driving me fucking nuts. And so, after driving about 8 hours, I pull off the highway and into some abandoned little park in this town near Amarillo, Texas. I lean up against this old oak tree, and then... oh... I do exactly what you're not supposed to do 2 days after a breakup. I call my ex. Yeah, hi, I'm doing good, just driving away. I finally get up the nerve, big breath. So, why exactly did you break up with me? And then I realized I was attracted to you like I'm attracted to black female vocalists. Oh, like Ella? Okay. I didn't know what else to say. I wish I had said, well, I'm not a black female vocalist, but I do have strength. I do have grace, and I do have soul. But if soulful loving is not the kind of loving you're looking for, I can surely swish away. And one day may I find a man who says to me, I'm attracted to you like I'm attracted to a black female vocalist. And that's why my love for you is so damn strong. That man, yes, that man is the man for me. What the fuck? The only way I could really interpret that is I was too feminine for him. He definitely hinted at that sometimes. I remember this one time we were walking along a canal in Amsterdam, and something startled me. He turns to me, he says, "Why are you so skittish all the time? Man up! Man up." He also used to say that if I worked out, I would have a more masculine-looking body. Because my body is kind of feminine. There's also that time I did drag. He seemed really embarrassed. Maybe that's what did it. Maybe drag is some unforgivable turnoff. I mean, what does it say about me that I like putting on women's clothes? Why did I even do it in the first place? Holly Colkey. Holly Colkey. That's who first did me up in drag. We were 16 years old in the 9th grade in the early 90s when Holly taught me about Morrissey and espresso and Shakespeare and the word chic and the chicness of an all-black ensemble. She was fucking cool, and she liked me. It was good timing, too, because all my A-list friends had just dropped me when rumors spread that I shopped for women's lingerie and stuffed gerbils up my ass like Richard Gere. Yeah, 9th grade really sucked. But at least I had Holly, and our nights at the Panic Cafe where we listened to live jazz music and sip our cappuccinos, and flip through black and white photography books, and talk about how stupid everyone was. It was awesome. But things started to change when Holly started to crush on me. I was still in denial that I was gay, so I asked her out. I remember our first date to the San Diego Wild Animal Park. I nervously grabbed her hand at the bird show as the condors swooped over the audience's heads. I was still holding it as we left when she pointed at 2 men, also holding hands. She laughed. I had never seen that before. I grabbed hers tighter, feeling terrified and excited. Eventually, I came out to her. She was like, "Oh my God, did I turn you gay? Am I that ugly?" She got over it when she got this super butch Mexican-Italian homie type boyfriend named Angelo. She had him wrapped around her little finger, and the 3 of us started hanging out and somehow got along famously. So this one night, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, had just come out in theaters, and they were having a premiere event in Hillcrest, San Diego's neighborhood, where they were letting all the people dressed in drag for free. This seemed like a perfect excuse to try drag for the first time. And Holly said she'd help me get ready and be my date, and she even convinced Angela to join us. So I go to her house, and she does me up in one of her silky, soft, black cocktail dresses, a pair of black pumps, and a flirty red bob-cut wig. For my purse, we used a Tide box that we bedazzled. It was very raver chic. She does my makeup like she does her own, a black cat eye, a rouge cheek, and a deep red lip. I take a look in the mirror. Oh my God, I look gorgeous. Get me to the red carpet, sweeties. I'm ready for the premiere. Just as we're leaving, Holly and her mom get in this nasty fight, and now she's not about to let Holly run off with her gangster boyfriend and her gay ex-boyfriend in a dress to go see some queer movie about drag queens. Fuck. The night is ruined. But Holly has a plan B. She convinces Angelo to be my date, and I was not complaining. Darlings, we had a marvelous night. We walked right past the ticket line to the red carpet, posed for pics with the paparazzi, then entered the theater where the drag queen hostess beckoned me to join all the other queens strutting their stuff across the stage. My first time in the drag spotlight. Oh, the movie was fantastic. A bunch of drag sisters traveling across Australia in a big pink bus, performing ABBA songs along the way. So inspiring. Afterwards, I paraded Angelo past all the jealous queens. I think he enjoyed the attention. But eventually, we had to make curfew, so I drop him off at his folks' house, and then I start driving through the twisty mountain roads towards my parents' house. As I drive, something compels me to touch myself. I'm getting excited as I feel my boyhood beneath my silky, soft dress. My cock gets hard, and I stroke it as the turns get twistier. Headlights illuminate tall, gnarly eucalyptus trees. The windows open, the cool night air whipping through my red bob-cut wig as I stroke and turn and stroke and turn. The sleek dress rubbing up and down against my hard 16-year-old cock as I stroke and turn and stroke and turn. I catch a glimpse of myself in the rearview mirror and feel like a red-headed slut jacking off her teenage stud as I stroke and turn and stroke and turn and stroke and turn, and bam! I slam on the brakes just before crashing headfirst into a tall eucalyptus tree as my cock explodes. Fuck! White cum shoots out all over Holly's black cocktail dress. The smell of eucalyptus and my sweet seed fills my nostrils. A new part of me is born. Holly Colkie. Holly Colkie, that's who first did me up in drag. Wait. If I think about it, the real first time I caught a glimpse of Sylvia, I was just a little boy, maybe 7 or 8. At that time, I used to worship my older sisters. They were the prettiest and coolest girls in their San Diego junior high schools. They both had totally 80s hair. Josie, the older one, would hairspray hers out so it was really, really big. And Cinnamon, yes, her name is Cinnamon. She grew her bangs out really long, so they covered half her face, making her only able to see out of one eye. I remember they used to flip their hair, and I used to try to do it myself with my floppy blonde boy locks. Everything they did, I did. Everything they liked, I liked, from the Bangles to Cabbage Patch Kids. They were my Egyptians, and I wanted to walk like them. So this one night, Cinnamon is having a sleepover with all the most popular girls at her school. And I stay up late playing the cute younger brother role, laughing at all their jokes. One of them says, like, oh my god, Cinnamon, we should totally do Willie's makeup. I'll squeal with laughter, sit me down, and start painting my face. I pretend that I don't like it, because somehow I know that's what I'm supposed to do. Before I know it, bright blue splashes above my eyes. Hot pink sweeps across my cheeks. Deep red sinks into my lips. I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror, and all resistance drops. Baby Syl was peeking out, and I liked her. I finally felt like one of the girls. Like, oh my god, you guys, let's totally put on the Bangles. Way-oh, way-oh, way-oh. Go Danielle! Good dance move, Meredith. Oh my god, Dad. I'm standing clutching Cinnamon's Cabbage Patch doll, my head down in shame. wishing so badly I had long blonde hair like all of them that I could hide behind. Cinnamon, what the hell is wrong with you? You girls need to quiet down. Willie, wash that crap off your face and go to bed. Mom must have been so mad if she caught me, I think, as I slowly walked to the bathroom mirror. I'm feeling embarrassed and upset, but not enough to keep me from posing a few more times. I then strategically wash just enough makeup off so that it looks like I tried, but I leave some of it behind so I can see my pretty girl face again in the morning. I still do that sometimes. After a drag gig, I leave a little bit of the mask behind. Maybe it's just a glitter eyebrow or an eyeliner. Something to remind me of the magic that I held the night before. But driving across the country that day, drag didn't feel like a magical gift. It felt like a fault. There must be something wrong with me. I finally come around to accepting myself as gay, but clearly I'm not a normal gay guy. I'm something else. I'm watching the sun set on the plains of Illinois, turning the dry corn leaves pink. And I think of the white flannel two-piece with the hot pink feathers. I wish I hadn't bought it. I wish I had loved trying it on. I feel ashamed of my joy. I check into another Motel 8. I set up a feast from Taco Bell on my bed. And in between my Nacho Supreme and my Taco Bell Grande sits my book. Tonight, I read about the Berdache. It's a Native American term for people who embody both male and female identities. Clyde Hall, he says, Berdache walk in both worlds because you are elements of both male and female, but you're neither. You don't fit in, you're a go-between. And consequently, it's easier for you to transcend from the physical to the spiritual realm. That's cool. In Will Roscoe's interview, he says the Berdache that I know today all have lots of awareness of self. They all what you call queens. When they come into a room, you know it. They make the party a good party. They connect, they speak the truth, and they're blunt. They're fearless and will do anything without consideration of social conventions or gender boundaries. Maybe that's what I am. I take the last bite of my Taco Bell Grande, I wipe the sour cream from my face and think, maybe this isn't such a bad thing. And pass out. But the next day, it sucks all over again. And I'm so sick of obsessing, stuck on these barren, never-ending highways. I can't take it anymore. Fuck it. I'm gonna power through this drive even if it takes me all night. And it does. But at 6:23 a.m., I catch my first glimpse of the glorious city that is New York. The rising sun lights up the iconic skyline, and I'm immediately in awe and in love. In New York, these streets will make you feel brand new. These lights will inspire you. Now I'm in New York. After arriving in the Big Bad Apple, I quickly found all those distractions from heartbreak that I so desperately needed. A whole city of distractions. And the gays. Oh my God, the gays. There were so many different kinds of them. Who knew that homos came in such a wide variety of shapes and sizes and personalities? There were gay punks and twinks and bears, oh my. Muscle queens, show queens, drag queens, otters, cubs, wolves, gay geeks, gay jocks. Out-gay professionals, houseboys, circuit boys, Chelsea boys, housey boys, bearded Brooklyn fags, art fags, lady fags. The list goes on and on and on, and that's not even mentioning all the queers. We'll be here all night. But what was so amazing to me was that encompassed in all these beautiful types of queers and gays was this vast range of gender expression that I'd never seen before. Witnessing this blew me away, and I started to see all the possible expressions of gender stretching out before me like a line across the city, with the butchest of the butch on one side and the femmiest of the femme on the other. Here, let me show you. Ladies, gentlemen, two-spirit, genderqueer, and the rest of you, I present to you the gender line. Now, let's give over here a try, shall we? Oh, fuck yeah! It feels good over here. I feel strong and powerful and direct and a little aggro. Ah, that was interesting. Let's give over here a try, shall we? Oh, I feel flimsy and flexible and free-flowing. Well, that was interesting too. Now, Sylvia London, she fits somewhere around... Yes. Here, darlings. And I sort of dance across the line, depending on the scenario, the mood, the day. And when I first moved to the city, I really wanted to dance on the left side. I felt rebellious. If Elon wasn't gonna love me because I was too femme, then fuck it, I was gonna be super femme. The white vinyl two-piece with the hot pink feathers had been calling my name all the way across the country, and I was ready to ruffle those feathers, honey. And as fate would have it, the week after I arrived, the Lady Bunny's Wigstock, this drag queen festival, was happening. A perfect event for Sylvia to make her NYC debut. Seeing all those drag queens strut their stuff across Chelsea piers, their sequins and glitter sparkling in the sunlight, it was magic. My white vinyl two-piece with the hot pink feathers was a hit, and I felt like one of the girls. Fuck heartbreak. I'm Sylvia London, an NYC drag queen and proud of it. I quickly found my drag crew. A group of lady boys all fresh out of drama school and ready to grab NYC by the balls. We started this guerrilla drag troupe we called Snapdragon Productions, and we started performing and throwing parties in downtown bars and clubs. The troupe was made up of me, Mimi Valdez, Hagatha Christie, Galactica, Crystal Snow, Princess Anorexia, Shania Rendezvous, Petra, and our drag stylist and handler, Justin Scott. Our numbers were very elaborate and a little demented. Once we performed this on-stage sex change operation to Gwen Stefani's I'm Just a Girl. We also threw these players' balls every year that had wacky themes like Whores of Jupiter or Pink Circus. And then we started this monthly party in Brooklyn called BLO, spelled B-L-O with an accent over the O. Monosyllabic party names were really hot back then. We never really made much money because there were so many of us, but as long as there was lots of drink tickets, we didn't care. But to save money, we would skip the expensive cab rides and get to our gigs on the subway in full drag. This usually wasn't a problem, but one time it was. Me and Hagatha Christie had booked this gig working the holiday party for Crunch Gym. It was taking place at Plaid, which used to be called Spa. Monosyllabic. So the party producers wanted something unusual, and Hagatha tells them that we are drag queen fortune tellers. She'd read a book on the tarot and said we'd be fine. So I arrive at Hagatha's Hell's Kitchen apartment. It's this railroad apartment that always inevitably became a sea of dresses and wigs and heels. It was like a sequin glitter hair grenade exploded in the hallway. So after pulling every piece of drag out of her closet, we finally decided to go with these punk rock looks that were leftovers from a Gem and the Holograms versus the Misfits number that ended with Gem beheading Pizzazz in slow motion. Drag queen, punk rock, fortune tellers. Why not? We arrive at the club. I'm wearing this hot pink and jet black two-tone flip wig, a tiny black leather miniskirt, hot pink fishnet stockings, big black pumps, and a tiny top hugging my birdseed-filled pantyhose tits. The gig was great. The more drinks we had, the more elaborate we got with people's fortunes, laying out their career paths, their love lives, babies on the way, deaths on the horizon. Turns out that people trust punk rock drag queen fortune tellers. Before they find out we're frauds, we book it to our favorite after-hours spot, the Cock, and party till closing, then stumble to the trains and make our way home. I arrive in Brooklyn and go to open my door. And to my horror, I realize that I've left my house keys in my pant pocket, buried under a sea of drag in Hell's Kitchen. So, at 5 in the morning, I get back on the train in full drag, heading to Midtown. I wake up. I'm at the end of the S line in fucking Queens. It gets worse. My purse with my phone and my wallet are missing. The sun is up and people are boarding the train in business suits on their way to work. Drag Astor. I try to cover up my slutty punk rock drag look and hide behind my two-tone flip wig, wishing so badly it were long and blonde, and start to take the longest subway ride of my life, followed by the longest walk of my life to Agatha's apartment. A sketchy man asked where to go for a good time. This is a whole new level of walk of shame. I nearly break down in tears, make it to the apartment where I profess I will never fuck with fortune telling again. I take off my wig. Decide it's time to take a little break from drag. The partying had become a bit much. Plus, I missed having a boyfriend, and prancing around in pumps didn't seem like the most effective way to find one. So, a week later, I convinced Justin to join me for an underwear party. We found this listing in the back of HX magazine, Sexy Brooklyn Underwear Party for fit guys under 30. Clothes check at the door. As New York City newbies, the thought of partying in our underwear was terrifying and exciting. We show up at the club, strip down to our undies, put our clothes in a garbage bag clothes check, then enter to see sexy 20-somethings milling about drinking cocktails wearing designer underwear. It's a hot scene. Bare skin and big bulges lit up by bright blue bulbs. It's good to be partying with all the makeup and heels and glamour for once. Just as dudes hanging out with our packages on display. I'm not sure what to do, so I order a drink and start milling about, sipping it. When I notice him, he's a short, stocky, boxer-clad Jewish guy with dark curly hair and a sly, charming smile. We make eye contact and then he approaches. I find out his name is James, and James is one sexy geek. He's trying real hard to play it cool, but eventually we both admit we've never been to anything like this before. Then he grabs my hand and takes me to one of the darker rooms where we quickly discover some hot, sexual chemistry. A week later, we go on a date that lasts 24 hours, and before we know it, we're fully fledged boyfriends. Sometimes it just happens like that. I'm on cloud 9. He's my first boyfriend since Elon broke my heart, and he's perfect. He's shorter than me, which I love because it makes me feel like